Looks like everything is working. Okay, so thank you guys for being here. Thanks for jumping in and being part of this webinar. I see that there's just a couple people who are on, so I'm going to get started as soon as you guys drop in the chat and let me know that you guys can hear me and you can see me okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to assume everybody can hear me, so I'm going to screen share. Okay, Elizabeth raised her hand. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and screen share. I have a couple slides to show you guys and just kind of walk you through a few things about social media. And then I have a way to share my phone so that I can show you a few things on my phone, which I'm kind of excited because I've never done that before. And it was really cool that I could figure out how to make that happen. So let me screen share really quick so you guys can see. Okay. Okay. Let me see what's going on down here. So if you guys are in the chat, or just, I guess, raise your hand again if you can see everything well. Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, so social media 101. I want to really try to break this down and just kind of give you the fundamentals of what currently exists on social media. But you got to keep in mind, social media, one of the things that can be so immensely frustrating about it is that it changes a lot and it changes frequently. And so currently, we're kind of in a phase where Instagram is really hot for trying to be like TikTok, and Facebook is kind of the new Instagram, where everybody seems to congregate more to Facebook for, sharing posts and like kind of keeping up with their friends and things like that. Instagram used to just be a place where you could share all of your photos, and then they kind of got sucked into the whole TikTok and Reels kind of a thing. And so now here we are. So that said, we're going to talk a little bit about like, how do you make a post on Instagram of various different types. There's a lot of different types of posts that you can make. There's a lot of different types of posts that you'll see me make on the Acure Insight page. And so I want to make sure you guys know generally what these are and how you can go about doing those. So I'm going to talk about them first, and then I'm going to show you how to make a couple of posts at a time. And you guys are welcome, if you're following along on your computer, you're welcome to pull out your phone and just kind of practice with me. Oops, wrong way. Okay, so the first couple types of posts, the main ones that have kind of existed forever, are you've got a post or a video in the feed. And so this is where you have a static picture and a video in the feed. If you just post a video, not a reel. So a reel is what you just saw there. A reel is different. We'll talk about that in a minute. But a video, like say you record something on your phone of something happening around you, or maybe you, I don't know, record something happening at the doctor's office. Of course, somebody is turning on their car right now. Great. But those videos can be uploaded like this one, where they can be up to a minute long. So those kinds of videos, those go and they get posted directly into the feed. They will tell you, like Instagram will pop up and say, like, if your video is 90 seconds long, for instance, then it will tell you, okay, that's too long. You'll have to either make this into a reel or, shorten it. So the other kind of main feed post that you can see is called a carousel post. So that carousel post is one of those posts that you see that you can swipe. And so that's kind of something that you'll see me do sometimes to share somebody's story. If somebody has kind of a longer version of whatever their story is with ocular melanoma, and I want to share all of it, all of their words, because they just had a really impactful story, then I might break it into kind of photo pieces so that you can swipe through and you can read it. The same is applicable for like kind of like sharing multiple photos of an event or multiple photos of something that happened in your life. you can share up to 10 photos in a carousel post is what it's called. Carousel just means people can swipe through it, kind of like they can ride a carousel. And so those are the main two first types of posts. So I'm gonna stop screen sharing here and I'm gonna actually hook up my phone and I'm gonna show you guys how you can make a regular post, how to use that for a video post, and then how to make a carousel post. Okay, so we're gonna screen share again, but we do a different thing and it's fun. Okay. There we go. All right. So whoever is here live, will you guys just raise your hand again if you can see my phone and only my phone? I don't actually know what you guys see. I still see the rest of my backdrop. Okay. So here's my adorable children, Joshua, Tatum, and Melody in order of height. We're going to go into Instagram. So if you have Instagram downloaded, you're going to notice up here in the top corner, there's a couple different things. It says Instagram across the top. And then it says the little heart and the plus sign, and then this little thing over here that has the numbers. So hearts are your notifications. This is how you see if somebody liked your photo, if somebody commented on your photo. Over here is your messages. This is where someone might be responding to, say, your stories, or they might be messaging you directly because they have a question. So let's just briefly pop in here so you guys can see what this can look like. If you get a request is something that is from a message from someone who you've never met before or who doesn't follow you. This is going to be more common if they are coming to your page and you have a private account, then you'll get a request. It's also going to be common if you don't have any friends in common on Instagram. So if you don't have mutual followers, you're going to get hidden requests or you're going to get just a normal message request. These are sorted into two things. You can kind of sort them as you like. I think for the most part, most people just see primary. So you can see these are where you can see where people mentioned you in their stories. You can see messages that people have written. So these are just messages that I have sent to myself from my personal page to the ocular melanoma page. Okay, so notifications. This is where you see who's following you. This is where you see different posts you've been tagged in, and anyone who likes photos, comments, any of those kinds of things. So you can see this one right here is a post and they tagged us in their post. So we can see that and we can then share it on our page. Okay, so to make a regular post, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to hit this little plus sign at the top. And then there at the bottom, you're going to see post, story, reel, and live. So this little carousel piece at the bottom that you can swipe through, this lets you change between which type of post you want to make. We're going to focus on just the post right now. So to make a regular post, you select a picture. Then you move over here and you type your caption, blah, 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 blah. You hit a location if you choose. Apparently it lets you add music now. Cool. I think that there's just a few features that it will just kind of give you options for. So right now, I actually need to go to my personal page to be able to show you some of these things. So hold on, let's go to the personal page. Here we go. Okay, so we're in here. And you can see in here, I can do lots of different things. I can tag people, I can tag products, I can add a message button, I can add a reminder, I can add my location. The main things I want you guys to be aware of is you can tag people. So if you're on your Instagram, you can tag a Kieran site and you can do that over here. I'm just going to say Mel at the beach. Okay, so actually we're going to get into tagging in a minute. So this is how you make that kind of a post. Once I'm done, I hit share to wherever I want it to go. It can go to Facebook. It can get linked to other social media platforms. That's the main type of photo post. A video post is going to be where you take a video that you've made. So here's a video of Melody riding her bike. All right, well, we're going to see if Instagram has suddenly changed the features. She's very excited. Okay, so it looks like right now, this is still a regular post. Okay, so a reel is going to show up differently. Right here, it gives me some options to trim the video. So if it's longer than a minute, then I can trim that video so that I can share just the portion of the video that I want. Same thing, I write a caption, I can tag people, and then I hit share. I hit OK, and then share at the bottom. These kinds of posts are going to show up on your main feed along the bottom squares. Anything that you make past that, if you make, say you try an Instagram reel, that will show up over here, and you'll be given an option to share it to the main feed, which is all of the little grid pieces. Okay, so let's pause for now. And if you guys have any questions about just the general, how do you make a post, then drop those in the chat. If you don't, then raise your hand and we'll just keep moving. Okay, let's see. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, I'm watching for the chat. So if you guys do have questions, please don't hesitate to ask, because I do want to make sure that I can ask answer questions. Okay, so these are the fun ones. Like, honestly, these are super fun. And a lot of people get really scared of making these kinds of posts because they just aren't familiar with it. So I want to help you guys become a little more familiar with these two types of posts. The first one is called a reel. Instagram has reels, TikTok has TikTok videos. They're basically the same thing, but Instagram has their own in-app way of creating these reels, these kind of videos that are fun and short and sassy and use sounds and just those kinds of fun things. So I will sometimes reach out to you guys as an audience and ask you for videos, for ideas, and just to kind of help make something like this reel that you see here. So let's just watch this for a second. Okay, so you can see a reel has the ability to splice videos together. It also has the ability to share kind of like a slideshow of photos. So say you have 20 photos that you want to share, but you can't share 20 in a carousel post. You can share 20 photos in a reel. You can also share those through stories, but personally, reels are kind of the go-to how to get attention on Instagram. So if you're trying to share something with the intent that you want it to get the most eyes as possible, like for instance, let's say you're sharing the last 5 years of your ocular melanoma journey. You're willing to do that. You've decided you want to share that on social media. One of the most effective ways you can do that is by making a reel of some kind. So these don't have to be like kind of trendy. They don't have to be something where you are doing a sound and like mimicking something or dancing. They can literally be as simple as taking 10 to 20 photos or maybe more, and you're splicing them together, and then Instagram will actually make it into a reel for you pretty easily. And it will give you suggestions for music that kind of go with syncing the photos. They really have made it super, super easy for us. But making a reel is something that can be funny, it can be short. You can just make a video of yourself talking. And I've seen quite a few patients from the ocular melanoma world who will do something with a reel where they just are talking to the camera, like on their selfie, and they'll share about like going on a doctor's visit, or they'll share about just like, the first time they got diagnosed, or, something along those lines, as far as like bringing awareness to ocular melanoma. And they do a really good job of just articulating something brief. So reels have a time limit of 90 seconds currently. TikTok videos have a 3-minute time limit. So if you love TikTok, we're not talking about TikTok today because TikTok is just big. But Reels and TikTok are similar enough that if you can make a reel, you can go over and you can make a TikTok. You just kind of have to play around with it. The features are slightly different. And so that's kind of something to keep in mind. The second type of post that I want to talk to you guys about are called stories. So stories are these little bubbles across the top. So if you look over here, it says your story. That's anything that you put in your story. And then over here is anyone that you follow. And these are the kinds of things that are kind of the behind the scenes, the day-to-day. On the ocular melanoma page for us here at A Cure in Sight, you're going to see that I'll share people's posts. If you tag us in a post, I'll share it over here in the stories. If you share something and you tag A Cure in Sight, then I can re-feature that in our stories. And likewise, if you are, say, an interview on a podcast, or you have a post that you post and you tag us and then I tag you back, or vice versa, you can then feature it in your stories. This is just a simple, easy way to kind of fill the feed without filling the feed, because the stories allow you to go through kind of everyone's day-to-day behind the scenes. They do disappear after 24 hours, so that's kind of an interesting thing to keep in mind. So those are these other two types of posts, and I'm gonna have you guys try making a reel with me. So I don't want you to like overcomplicate this. And I will get to that question in just a second after we finish looking at these things. All right, we're gonna go back over here and we're gonna share the screen to the phone. Okay. Here's that. Let's go. Okay. Okay, so same thing up here in that plus sign. Let me make sure that you guys can see this. It just was blocking it on my end, so hold on. Okay, so the plus sign over here, you have the little reel and story and post at the bottom. So let's make a story first, and story is first up. Okay, so story is going to be something where you are able to talk in the camera, but you can also click on the bottom left-hand corner and you can select up to 10 photos at a time. So I can add up to a 15-second clip, and I can add multiple photos. These are the beach photos for my kids. So you can see it stops me from selecting more than 10. Once I select 10, then I get to go in and I can actually play with the things at the top of this. So the very top, you're going to see a speaker. So this says if there's sound, if there's not sound. So right now there's sound. I don't know if you guys can hear that sound, but you can share a short video in your stories. You can share just static photos, and you can add a description. And as you're going through, you tap on the right hand or the left hand side to go back and forth between the photos. Okay, so within stories, there's a few little features up here. There's the tagging, and then there's, whoops, not this one. The little sticker button is what I want you guys to be aware of on stories. So on stories, you click the little smiley face sticker that's like a square. And this guy here allows you to add music to your stories. It allows you to add a link in some cases. I'm not actually sure if everyone has links now. It used to be that only if you had 10,000 followers or more, you could do links. But more and more, I see people who have a link. Keep that in mind. Links are going to be important, especially in stories, as we get going a little bit later. You can mention someone. So I can mention a Kieran site. And if I mention a Kieran site in any of my stories, then what's going to happen is a Kieran site gets a notification, which means I get a notification saying so-and-so's tagged you in their stories. And then that makes it so that I can then go and feature it again in the stories. Up here, you're also going to see things like questions and location, polls, hashtags. So sometimes I will use these kinds of things in the stories on a Kieran site so that you guys can interact with stories. That's the purpose of the polls, of the questions, is for people to ask you questions or for you to ask them questions. So like, what's your fave vacay place? And then anyone who sees my story can then, once I upload it, go in and type what their favorite place to go and visit is. So if I have questions about, like, I need a recommendation, I can offer that as a way for getting information from people. Okay, so that's stories. Once you're done, you hit move over and then you hit share to story. There's a few different features that you have. You have the option to double share if you have both a Facebook and an Instagram account. And that can be helpful if you want to not have to share it twice, because then it just does it for you. Okay, so let's go back over here to the next option. So we're going to go over here to Reels. So Reels can be super fun. And I'm actually going to, I don't remember what my last video was. Oh, okay. So this was a Halloween video that I started to make. Okay, so to make a reel, to make a new reel, I'm actually going to turn around the camera. We're going to pretend, oh, look at that. It's like the infinity. That's trippy. You're going to click the plus sign at the bottom. So let's just say you want to do a series of photos. I know we're just using all the beach photos of my kids, but that's just because they're right here and it's super easy. Okay, so when I add these photos, it automatically selected some music for me. I don't have to keep that music, but I can go in here and I can hit trash to the music, and then I can pick music of my own. Anything that you save, which I'll show you how to do that in a little bit, is over there, but we're just going to pick this one because this is a good one. So then once you add the music to it, then you're going to see what happens is you have the video go through and it has all of the photos in there. So I'm going to discard this because I don't like it doing that. We're not going to use that one. We're going to go over here to one of my previous videos. So, well, let's see. What do I want to show you? I just want to show you how to make just a basic, like if I wanted to talk to the camera. So, sorry, this is weirding me out that it's over like this. So if you click on this side, you're going to see time limits. The time limits, you can change those out if you want to talk for 30 seconds, 60 seconds, or if you want up to 90 seconds of recording time. If you want to be able to do something in fast motion, say you're wanting to show like just some ideas, you can show like your journey to the doctor's office or going to scans, like to give people a behind the scenes look at having a cancer diagnosis like this. Sometimes you have to get really specific about like what on earth do I share. You can share kind of like how you're getting all of these different tests done. You can share about getting your MRI done, and you can do that by kind of speeding up the process of what you're showing. So if I have it on 4x speed, then it's going to record, and then anything that it shows will be faster. So those are just some simple ideas. And as you go through these different features down here, this timer is what allows you to set a timer and basically be able to, it's what allows you to be able to like walk away from your phone to be able to record something. But for the purposes of simple things, I would say if you focus on the plus sign at the bottom where you can upload photos and just upload a series of photos. So let's just say you have 10 different photos or 15 different photos showing what it looks like to get an eye exam. You can share all of those as a joint number of photos, and then you can add music, you can add captions and things. So same thing as with stories, you can select and you can mass select what you want. So you can see with these, it actually lets you auto sync to two different audio that it already has selected for you. Once you're in here, this is actually where you can go in and you can click to add text. Went to the zoo. And at the bottom, if you click on that text, you edit how long you want the text to show up on the video. So same with like trimming a video, you're going to just move this little bar at the bottom over to say you only want it to show for 3 seconds, then you only let the text show for 3 seconds. This is what allows you to layer text in multiple places. Other fun things you can do, you can change the filters. If you like want to just change the filter for fun, absolutely don't have to do that, but it's just a fun thing to do. You can also add stickers in here, like you can add captions. So if you're talking and you want to be able to make this accessible to more people, then you can add captions in. So let's just sample what that looks like. So if I'm recording a video and I want to add captions, then what's going to happen is it's going to look like this. Of course, I was in 4x speed, so that's not going to work. Oh, you can slow it down now too. Cool. Okay, so adding captions looks like this. Not like that. All right, so that was fun. So there's quite a few different things you can do within Reels. I would just say if you want to make a Reel, start basic. You don't have to do anything crazy. You don't have to do anything fancy. Just keep it simple. If you're done, or you're maybe wanting to make a video that shows all of your eye exams and all of your MRIs for the whole year, then you can click save as a draft. Keep in mind, if you ever uninstall Instagram, you will lose all of that. And you'll have to, or like if you log out of Instagram, then you'll also have to remake those videos, because it doesn't save them unless you stay logged in. Okay, so I see a question over here. Chat comes up as disabled. Well, that's a problem. It should be enabled. Panelists can chat with attendee. Here we go. There we go. All right, now you guys can chat. Thank you for letting me know. Sorry, I didn't see that before. So do you guys have any questions about generally how you make these kinds of posts? Okay, I'm not seeing any questions come in yet, but keep in mind, I can go back to those if needed. So let me go back into here and I'm going to show you guys what's up next. Okay, so this is more just to talk about this and kind of briefly show you a few ideas. But one of the most important things you can see here is that we have the power of hashtags, tagging, and sharing. So you're going to see me use hashtags. Now, the purpose of hashtags is that this allows people to find you, or to find our page, to find relevant content, right? So if you're looking for hashtag Phoenix Zoo, because you went to the Phoenix Zoo and you want to see who else went to the Phoenix Zoo, I don't know, then you're going to type hashtag Phoenix Zoo and you're going to be searching along that hashtag. Within the Instagram features, you can search for something by hashtag. So a lot of people who have actually come to our page, or really to any ocular melanoma page, they have found other patients, they've found the Acure Insight page through the use of hashtags. So using hashtags like ocular melanoma awareness, eye cancer, uveal melanoma. This one is stage 4 needs more. That's kind of a common metastatic cancer, hashtag. Looking for a cure. Like, some of these things are going to be only relevant to Acure Insight, and that I will ask you guys to use those hashtags for different like campaigns that we have going on social media, or just so that I can find and feature any posts that you guys have from, say, a Looking for a Cure walk, or the I Believe seminars that we have each year. I Believe in a Cure is just an easy, trendy, like, we as an ocular melanoma community, we use that to connect with each other across Instagram. So using those hashtags when you are posting about your story with ocular melanoma, or an update to your journey, or whatever is going on, those are really powerful, because that's what allows people to find you. Keep in mind, this is most relevant if you have a public Instagram account and not a private Instagram account, but people can still find you, and you can still utilize those hashtags in a way that you feel good about. So I personally have a public account. Not everybody has. And so that can sometimes affect some of the features like hashtags and findability. But if you're ever searching for something and you are coming across those kinds of hashtags, those are hashtags you can then use to look for posts by other people who also have ocular melanoma, so that you can connect with them. We're such a rare community that I want to say that it's like a couple thousand posts are ocular melanoma posts. When you like pull it up, it'll say a number underneath a hashtag. So if you type hashtag, it'll say like 1.2 million or billion people have used this in posts. Hashtags that we use as a community, these are just some examples. My suggestion here is that if you can, take a picture of some of these and just try to remember to use these as you're making a post, because this is what helps us be able to see what you're posting, and also helps other people to find you and to find us. Okay, so tagging. Tagging is where on Instagram, and this is also relevant for Facebook, you type at, like the symbol at, and then you type Acure Insight, or Danet Kim Peterson, or whoever you're trying to tag. Tagging allows the person that you tag to see that you posted something about them, right? And that involve them as a whole. So this is a piece of the caption from Castle Biosciences. They're one of our main sponsors, and they posted about being in the Texas Dallas Fort Worth walk and saying that they were going to be in the Santa Monica walk next. And they tagged a Kieran site, and they did a few hashtags that are relevant to their content. Tagging us is super easy, and it can get mistaken a little bit sometimes for just like writing a Kieran site. If you just simply type a Kieran site in your caption without the @ symbol, I don't see it. And so it can be a little glitchy sometimes because Facebook and Instagram are always glitchy sometimes. But when you post and you're trying to tag a Kieran site, or you want to talk about a Kieran site, one of my biggest requests as the social media manager here is please tag a Kieran site. It makes my job so much easier, and it makes it so that I can actually see and feature, and we have it's called a social conversation going. And this basically means that anyone who comes across your post who is looking for, say, information about ocular melanoma, because you also use the hashtag ocular melanoma, can then be kind of led on a breadcrumb trail back to our page where they can then dive into more resources. So as someone who's sharing your story for the purpose of maybe raising awareness, this is an excellent way to make sure that they end up not necessarily in your inbox asking you a bazillion questions about ocular melanoma, not that you can't do that, but that they also end up back at the source of where they can get as much information as possible from accurate sources about, from doctors, from medical professionals, and from the people within the pharmaceutical companies. Like, we have really good connections here as an organization, and we want to make sure that people have access to that. The best way that people can get access and to know what we have going on, like events and things, is when you tag us in your posts so that they're then led back to our page. And this also goes for, vice versa. If you give me a video to use or a few photos to use, I'm going to ask to tag you so that I can tag you back. And it's kind of this kind of like, remember Facebook used to have poking, like it's kind of like that. But it allows this social conversation to be happening. And it really makes sure that people can find things and can find resources simply and easily. Okay, so let's move on to the last one. So the last one is sharing. So a lot of times, if you read one of the posts from a Kieran site, I'm going to say something like say it's one about getting dilated. I'll say something like, share this post or save and share. What that means is that ideally, I want you to save the post, because what that does is it makes it so that Instagram says, oh, people think this is important, we should feature it more. And the other thing is that sharing is another way for people to see it. And so to share, what this looks like is actually when you find a photo or something that you want to share, there's a little arrow. And this little arrow down here at the bottom, it looks like a little mail arrow. And that little mail arrow is going to give you options to send it to individual people who you follow or add the post to your story. What I would like to focus on is just if you can add it to your story, that's a way that you get some of the largest amounts of views. Other ways that you can share it are to save it and then kind of screen capture it, and then you can reshare the content itself. If you have, if you have an email, like if you're part of our email campaign or our email, email newsletter list, then you're going to get email newsletters, and sometimes those graphics will be included that you can push down and hold and save it so that you can then reshare that graphic. But sharing something to stories is usually most effectively done when there's something relevant to share, right? So it could be because there's an event coming up and you want to share with other ocular melanoma patients. There's an event. It could be because it was a really important checklist and you thought it was important or helpful and you want to share it with other people. The ones that are really helpful for us to have you guys share are going to be the ones that are more awareness focused. So I'm going to stop sharing here so you guys can see. Okay. Okay, so now we're back on the Kieran site page. And so this right here is an example of a shareable post. And this one just talks about the standard of care in ocular melanoma. And it just says save and share in the caption. So to share it, that means I'm going to hit the little arrow. I hit add to my story, I can then tag a Kieran site if I want to. Well, that's the wrong tag, but we're just going to leave it there. And then I can double tap it and it will kind of feature the story differently. Once I'm done, I just hit share to my story and that's it. That's what sharing a post to your story looks like. You can do the same thing when it says save. It's just the little arrow over here to the far right. There's like a bookmark. And when you hit save, you can save it to a collection. If you choose, or you just hit save, and saving something helps it come up in the algorithm more frequently, because it basically says, not only did people just like this, they saved it because they felt like it was important. So if I say save and share on a post from the Acure Insight page, it's because I really am hoping to get as much traction on that post as possible. And you guys are helping me by sharing that. So this is like me equipping you with resources so that instead of sharing your story personally, here you are, you get to go ahead and share something that's already prepared, already branded, already ready for you to help people understand more about what ocular melanoma is and why it's important to, say, schedule an eye exam. So this was for the day World Sight Day. The other way that you can do one of these is you can share a reel. So we talked about reels before. Some of those kinds of fun little videos that I have also have the same option. You can save it, which again, boosts it in the algorithm, and you could share it to your stories. Add reel to stories. This basically just pulls it up like a video. It'll show people this short little video of me or of whatever I'm sharing that's in, text form, photos of events, all kinds of different things. And then you hit share to stories so that other people can see that too. We had a video go viral kind of accidentally. That was a reel. And that video went viral because everyone shared it. So any of those kinds of awareness posts where we're just like really trying to boost the awareness for ocular melanoma, those are the kinds of posts that like it means a ton. Like this one right here was a really good one. That it went not viral, but I mean, it had almost 10,000 views. And you can see this is just showing the background of what does an eye exam look like. It's short, it's brief, but these are the kinds of things that if you would like to have something like this featured and you don't want to put the reel together yourself, you're also welcome to message that to me so that I can then just feature the reel. Others are more comfortable making their own and they make the video and then they send it to me. But these are some really fun ways that you can be involved in the social media conversation around ocular melanoma, and that you can help us to raise awareness and just really spread the news and get the word out there. The more that we can do that as a community and as a whole, the better chance we have of things like a viral video happening. And viral means it gets a lot of attention, right? It gets a lot of attention it'll get attention from the news sometimes even. And we want as much attention on ocular melanoma as possible. Okay, so that was fun. I have a couple other little simple things that I want to run through. And then I'm going to show you guys. Okay, so this is where I'm going to give a disclaimer that some of the things that I'm going to show you and that I'm going to point out, you may not be able to actually access right now. The reason is not because it won't be accessible again in the future, but because right now social media has kind of come down hard on all the nonprofits, and they're all in the process. Like literally every single nonprofit I'm connected with on social media is in the process of rebooting their ability to do fundraising on social media. But on a normal basis, fundraising on social media is a really powerful tool. And as far as fundraising goes, it's one of the ways that we as an organization are able to raise money directly. A couple kind of misconceptions. People wonder if is there like a fee that Facebook charges or anything like that. First things first, Facebook and Instagram are basically married. And so anything that is relevant and linked to your Facebook for a fundraiser can also be an Instagram fundraiser. They go to the same place, and you can then search for Acure Insight as an option to raise money for Acure Insight. My other disclaimer that I want to put in here is that I hope that you guys as patients know that you are not at all responsible, or nor should you feel the need to be responsible for funding your fundraiser yourself. What do I mean by that? I mean, I I don't think that anyone who is a patient with any type of cancer should feel like they need to be the ones primarily donating thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars over the course of their life to try to bring more attention to ocular melanoma. I think that if you have the ability to do that and you have the generosity and you have the funds, then by all means do that. But the goal of a social media fundraiser is to get your community involved. And so that means that you're getting other people involved in doing this with you. So when you're doing this on Instagram, the main couple ways you do it is through making a post. So we talked about making a post. Now you're going to see down here, there's a spot that you can add a fundraiser. Once you add a fundraiser, normally, not today, but normally you'll be able to hit add a fundraiser and then click a cure in sight, or, search a cure in sight, select the amount that you want to do the fundraiser for, and then hit share. That fundraiser will then be linked to that post on Instagram for a number of days, and you have the option of extending it for as many days as you choose. Here's kind of the trick here with social media fundraisers is that once you share it once, social media is fun and it doesn't like to show everybody everything all the time. And so if your post, say, got 2 likes or maybe 20 likes and you only had 2 people donate, that doesn't mean it failed. It just means it needs more eyes. And the only way that you're going to get it to have more eyes is if you actually do the work to share it. So I am telling you that it is not your job to donate solely to your fundraiser and to financially back it. But it is your job, if you're going to make a social media fundraiser, to tell people about it. So how do you tell people about it? Well, some of the easiest ways that you can tell people about it is you can do that through sharing, and through sharing to your stories, through tagging a cure in sight. There's lots of different ways that you can do that. So really briefly, I'm just going to show you guys what that looks like. Okay. Maybe I'm going to share. Guess I thought I was going to get to share another time. All right, so you're going to see down here, there's a photo that I had made. And this one is the photo that's linked to the fundraiser that I made. So you can see down here, this little heart. This means it's got a fundraiser linked to it. This allows people to normally donate to that fundraiser. As you can see right now, this is blurred out. This is just because Instagram is not allowing, same with Facebook, any of the nonprofits who haven't kind of gotten their updated legal things taken care of. And this is kind of a process that's going to take another couple, hopefully only another week or so. But if it takes longer, just know that it will be back soon. It just isn't currently there. So you can see that I've already had some people who've donated. And within here is the link to what I wrote in my post. Nobody has to write anything that I write. I'm long-winded. I usually use this to make a post and kind of update people about like what's going on and what I have going on. If you wanted to share this to your stories, you can do it a couple ways. By clicking into the fundraiser and then you hit create a story. When you hit create a story, it automatically loads the fundraiser for you. That means that it makes it so that anyone who's clicking through your stories can then hit donate. And as they're watching the stories, they have the option to then go quickly and easily donate directly. As long as they have a payment method linked to Instagram and Facebook, they're able to donate to that fundraiser. The other way you can share a fundraiser from Instagram is to do the same thing where we talked about. You can save and share your post. This bumps it in the algorithm. This bumps it up so that people can see it. The difference here is that people are just going to see the post, and then you would have to go in and click stickers and hit the donation button. So you can see it basically is the same thing, but if you want to directly share the donation, the best way to do that is to actually be clicked into your donation portal by clicking that little heart at the bottom left-hand corner of the photo. All right, so let's move over really quick to Facebook, because Facebook is similar but slightly different. So Facebook, you can do this from a computer or you can do it from your phone. I am going to show you from the phone just because I'm assuming if you're on social media that you're mostly going to be on your phone here. So we can click in here and we can type ha 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 ha. We can add a photo. And again, normally what you can do is you can hit the bottom right corner. There's 3 dots in a gray circle. Those 3 dots then give you the option down here to raise money. At the moment, all of these are just going to spin and it's not even going to let you search anything. But normally you would type a cure in sight into the search bar. It would pull up immediately. You would select it to donate to. So you can see like right now, it doesn't show us secure in site yet. And that's because we're still getting approved again. So the fun things that Facebook is putting us through, but we're not the only nonprofits going through it. So we're being patient. But those are just a couple of ways. That you can do that. To see whatever fundraiser you have going on Facebook, say you made a birthday fundraiser and you want to see how it's doing, you can click into the fundraiser activity by going to this menu over here. It's the bottom menu. It's like the picture in the bottom right corner of you, and then clicking fundraisers. You're going to be able to see your fundraisers that you've made, and you can invite people, you can invite organizers. Meaning like if you have say 5 family members who want to do, or 4 family members who want to do the fundraiser with you on Instagram, or on Facebook, you can add organizers here and you can select people to help, boost your fundraiser. So I can add my mom, my dad, and my mother-in-law. So then I've added them. The only thing is it's telling me right now there are no ways to donate, and that's okay. So Facebook and Instagram fundraisers are super, super helpful. But again, they're only helpful if you are sharing them. So in here, you're going to see on the fundraiser, it gives you share options. You can share it to your feed again. That means that you're going to share it again to your feed. Oops, I thought I was still sharing. I guess I'm not. Hold on, we will come back. Okay. All right, so we're back in here in the fundraiser. You can share it to your feed. And you can post a new update. So within the fundraiser, you can say, thanks so much for anyone who's donated, and anyone who's been invited or who has donated will then be there. You can ask people, please share my fundraiser. Like, this is kind of the way that social media works. If you just assume that people are going to do what you want and you don't tell them what you want them to do, they don't know what to do. But if you share and you directly tell your friends, your family, hey, can you guys please invite 10 people to this fundraiser? Or could you share this for the next 2 days? Any of those kinds of things. Those kinds of things are simple instructions that you're giving to the people that are in your social community, to just say, please help me get the word out about this because I can't do it myself. Because that's the bottom line, is none of us can do this ourselves. And these kinds of grassroots movements and the ability to raise money on something like Facebook, or like just raising money through a social media fundraiser for a cause, it only happens when the conversation is continuing to happen around it. So these are your different share options. You can share with a QR code. You can share with a link. So if you want to just text it to a group of people, then you can hit more options and then copy the link. And you can share it to your feed. That's going to reshare it to your main Facebook feed. And you can share it to your story. And this again gives people a direct location of where they can hit donate. Okay. So again, these fundraisers are really powerful, and I've seen people raise, tens of thousands of dollars. But that happens because they're talking about it and they're asking their following to talk about it. They're asking their friends and family to talk about it. Personally, this is how I think about this. I have a rare cancer. I'm like 6 in a million. You are too, right? So I have no qualms with asking people and like being loud on social media about my rare cancer, because if I'm not loud, then I don't know who's going to be loud for me. Like, I have to be loud in my own circle. And that means maybe I annoy some people, but at the bottom of the bucket, or the end of the day, I would rather annoy some people and have someone else hear about ocular melanoma who's never heard of it before, and raise maybe an extra $100 to thousands of dollars from sharing it in more than just a small knit social circle. I would rather have that kind of an impact than to feel like I couldn't share because I just didn't know how, or I didn't want to, or I didn't want to be annoying. So I just want to encourage you guys to just remember that, like, if you're there and you're doing a fundraiser and you're doing it with a cause that is important to you, then it's there's something happening on my printer. If you're doing it with that kind of an intent, there's nothing icky about that. Right? There's nothing icky about asking people to donate to a cause, to research, to funding patient support for a rare cancer like the one that we have. There's nothing wrong with doing that. So I just want to encourage you guys to do that, and to, as you make fundraisers, especially if you're doing one for Giving Tuesday, assuming our fundraising feature is back up, then please do that. Please share Please share your story. We talked about making posts. The reason for that is because you want to be able to make a post and talk about when were you diagnosed? What changed in your life? What things have you learned? Any of those kinds of things can all be relevant to the conversation and just bring some humanity to your experience. Feel free to follow me personally, or really just anyone that you see sharing their story powerfully. You don't have to share long-winded captions. You can do short and simple. You can just say, went to the eye doctor today. I have to go to the eye doctor every 3 months, every 6 months. Okay, well then why? Well, I go to the eye doctor because I have ocular melanoma. Ocular melanoma is super rare. Head to a Cure in Sight to find out more and to learn more about ocular melanoma. But please, in the meantime, if you have $5 to donate today, please donate to this fundraiser that I'm doing so that more money, more awareness can be raised for ocular melanoma. It doesn't have to be complicated. And I think that as long as we just keep it simple to the idea that like we're on a mission as a community of people within this social community, social media, we're on a mission to basically be as loud as we can and to be heard as much as possible on social media in the blur of noise that is there. We're trying to make as much of an impact with ocular melanoma as we can. We can't do that alone. So I can't do it myself. No other patient can do it themselves. But if we work together and we're all doing this and we all feel more equipped and empowered, then I think that we have a really good chance of continuing to just make a stamp that is long lasting and felt. Okay, so last thing I wanted to talk about today. Okay, so we talked about that. I already showed you. All right, so because the Facebook fundraising and the Instagram social media fundraising is currently down, we have come up with a backup plan, and we want to make sure that you guys know about that backup plan. So this month, we're doing something that we're calling the I Give campaign. So the I Give campaign is part of the Giving Tuesday opportunity. If you did the Steps for Sight with us, then you're familiar with Charity Footprints. Basically, this is a very simple and easy way that you guys can get involved that is outside of social media, but that can still be shared on social media. It's not going to have some of the same sharing features that maybe you would have had with an Instagram fundraiser or a Facebook fundraiser. But as far as being able to do something and just getting your community involved, this is an excellent way to do that. So the way that this works is it's called the I Give movement, and you're going to actually go to this website here, which I'm going to show you in just a sec. And I'm going to show this to you from the computer, but you can do it from your phone. And let's see, I'm going to hit stop share here. Okay. All right, so now we need to get to this spot so you guys can see what it looks like. So you're going to go to charityfootprints.com/igive. And you're going to see right here, there's an option that says donate now and fundraise now. So if you want to just share this direct link with anyone that you want to be a part of this, and you just want to say, please donate to this general fundraiser, then all you're going to do is you're going to send people the link, charityfootprints.com/igive. You're going to hit donate now if you'd like to make a personal contribution. Again, I don't expect you guys are fronting the donation funds as patients, right? But I do hope that you will take initiative and not just donate $5 or $10 yourself or $50 and share it and talk about it and get that conversation happening in your Thanksgiving circles, in your family circles, in your community, and just don't be shy about sharing that. So you can either copy and paste this link here, charityfootprints.com/igive, or you can hit fundraise now. And I'm going to make kind of a pseudo account here, but basically what you do is if you have not already done Charity Footprints before with us for Steps for Sight, then you're going to make yourself an account. Okay. I'm assuming that it's working. It's working. Okay, so then once I'm in here and I've made an account or I've logged in, it's going to give me an option to make a donation. I'm not going to do anything right now because I don't have the time to put in my card and like show you what that looks like. But Once we're done, we're going to just hit next. And this allows you to create a team to give a fundraising goal that you have. Say you want to raise $1,000 for Giving Tuesday. If every single one of us raised $1,000, by the way, who's on this call or who registered for this webinar, that would be $10,000. Just like let that sink in for a minute. If all 10 people who registered for the webinar, and let's just say 100 people, we know there's 100 patients. I've seen you guys do fundraisers on social media, but if all of us raised $1,000 for Giving Tuesday, that would be powerful. This appeal to donors, this is where if you've made a Facebook post or like some kind of an update for your social community, or you've texted your whole family what's going on, this is where you put in there, why is it important for you personally, right? Why is it important that people donate to your fundraising page? It does all go to the main A Cure in Sight fundraiser, but like, why is it important to you? Why is this impactful to you as a family? Maybe you're a caregiver of someone with ocular melanoma and you really want to see more money go to research, and you really want to see more money go to patient support and patient education, like all of those kinds of things. This is where you put that. So your story goes here. Once you're done with that, you can upload a picture. I'm not going to upload a picture because I don't have time to, but once we're in here, we can hit share on Facebook. We can text it to different people. We can tweet it on Twitter. And if you click over on the drop-down arrow, which this looks very similar on a phone as well, but if you click over on the drop-down arrow from this Charity Footprints portal, when you're logged in, then you can see my fundraiser. And it's actually just this link right here up at the top. So what I do is I just save this link, and then you can put that link in various different places. You can put that place, or you can put that on a link like to a post. And you can also upload it as the link in your bio to your Instagram. There's quite a few different possibilities here, but the gist is we want to share this link as many ways as possible, so that you guys have the chance to just circulate this I Give campaign. So if you're willing to do that with us, we would absolutely love to have you participate in the I Give campaign. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to me. My email is Danet, DANET, @acureinsight.org. This is all that I have for you guys today. I don't have anything else really to focus on. I just am glad that you guys were willing to participate, and I'm going to be having this like saved, and I'll upload it to YouTube so that this is accessible for anyone else who would like to learn a little bit more about social media. So thank you guys for being here. I apologize for kind of like coming to an end really fast, but I just realized what time it is, and I want to make sure to be respectful of your guys' time. So if you guys have questions, please reach out to me personally. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your ideas, your feedback, just letting me know that you could see things. This is honestly one of the most fun things for me, is to be able to interact with people and help people feel empowered to do this on social media themselves. So thanks for being here, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.